All right, class, last video we had done the font family and the background color for this My Bike Sold website. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. Well, the next thing that I want to do is I want to give my stuff an assigned font size, because while all this font doesn't look awful, I want everything to have certain font sizes. So if we look here, we have pretty big font sizes throughout. So I want to set a blanket font size for my entire website. And remember, if we're doing a blanket for the entire thing, we want to go to body. And I'm going to set a blanket font dash size for 18px. That is going to increase the size of everything there. Well, the next thing that I want to do is let's take a look at our different headers throughout this document. So if we go back over here, this is a pretty big header right here. These are semi-decently sized headers. This one's a little bit smaller, and that one's still pretty big. So let's go find where those headers are within this index. That first header that we see is within our hero image. That is an H1, okay. And then it looks like everything in our other sections are H2s. Let's go see, ready to sell your bike is an H3. So ready to sell your bike, that was smaller, so that makes sense. Okay, and the brand's logo wasn't that big. Contact us is an H2. So it looks like we have about 3 different sizes that we need to change throughout our web page. So let's go through and change those up a little bit and make our web page look just a little bit better and go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to global, because I want to change every single H1, every single H2, and every single H3. So I'm just going to say H1. Let's give that a font size, font dash size of, this is our biggest one. So let's set this one to be 40px. Okay. And then we don't actually want that space there. We want to do the same exact thing for H2 and 3, but we want to slightly go smaller on those. So let's change this to say H2. And let's change this one down here to say H3. I want this font size, let's go in 5s, 35, and let's have this one be 30. So let's refresh our website here. Nice big font headers, everything like that. Looks beautiful. The only other thing I want to do is I want to bold all of my headers. So they're by default bold, but I just like to do it just in case. Font dash weight and bold. Let's go through and add that to all 3 of these headers here. And now we get a nicely beautiful, bold web page. It's kind of hard to see there, but there you go. So now you can see that our headers are just a little bit bigger. Oh, this is the wrong one. That is what we're going for, not what we have. Let's open a new tab. There we go. Okay. So we got these bigger headers here. Awesome. If we take a look at our website, let's see if any of this stuff is like centered. Because it kind of looks like in our main website, the footer is centered, the ready to sell is centered. All of our headings are centered. So what we want to do with those is, it's a pretty simple process, but this one's not. we are going to come over here. So H2's headings need to be centered. Those were the headings for our sections. So how we do that is we just do a text dash align, and we want to say center. And let's do that for H3 as well. And I have an error because I never closed out my H. There we go. Now all of my headers for those should be centered, which they are. The last thing that I want to center is that footer. So let's go through and center that footer. Let's run it and let's take a look where we're at. So my headings are centered now. Awesome. Who we are centered. Ready to sell your bike is centered now. Ooh, that's not really what we wanted. And this contact us is centered. So we're getting there. Okay, what is the next thing that we need to do? We have this hero section here. And then in the main web page, that hero section is this picture of a bike. Let's go through and add that hero section, and we will call this a video. Okay, so we're going to come back over to here in our hero section. Let's do a dot hero, and let's see if our index is correct. Oh, yep, okay. That's with a lowercase h, so we're good. So we do a dot hero. And instead of saying background color, we use a background image. And then we want to say the URL. And then we do parentheses and quotation marks. And then we put our URL here. Well, where this image is in my images folder. And it's this one here. It's the bike_hero.jpg. So how we do that is just like we did images anywhere else within the document. So within these quotation marks, I'm going to say, I am AGS slash my bike, I already forgot, or bike_hero. Bike_hero.jpg. And then now if we refresh it and we run our new web page, we get this lovely little thing, but it's not actually showing us our whole bike. It looks a little sad. So what we actually want to do is give it some height and width properties. So if we take a look at this document, this is a huge, huge image that comes across our screen. I would go as far as saying about 80–90% of the viewable screen. So what we can do is well, I said 80 or 90%. So we can assign height instead of as a px, we can assign height as a percentage of the viewable height. So I want to say 85 VH. That is going to assign the height to 85% of the viewable area. So if I refresh this, ooh, that is looking nice. Nice and big image. 85% might be a little small. Let's set that to 90. Run it again, refresh it. Okay, that is that big in your face image that we're seeing. So we have that done and taken care of. The only other thing that I see with this web page is our fonts for this is black, so we're just going to leave it now. And we'll talk about padding and everything in future videos. Thanks for watching part 2. Stick around for parts. I don't know how many we're going to need to do.